Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. There's a lot of channels that you could pick today, but you chose us, and that makes me happy. I'm Seth Stubman.
I'm Ashley Cole, holding a wonderful plate of blueberries.
And these are blueberries grown right here in Western Massachusetts.
They are, and you can actually grow your own as well.
And you know them, you love them. They're sweet, they're plump, they're juicy, but they're easier to grow than you might think, and then you don't have to pay crazy amounts of money at the grocery store when you want to buy your own. So joining us to show us how we can do it is Ed Sordiff. He's the green thumb guru. It's a pleasure to see you.
It's good to be back.
So let's talk scale of 1 to 10. How easy are blueberry bushes to grow?
Well, blueberries are very easy because actually this is a native area for them. So blueberries were originally here before we were here. So it's a good thing to grow here.
And these are your blueberries? They're delicious.
No, those are from the store.
Oh, they are?
It's too early.
Well, the store.
They're not ready. It's not the
great.
season.
Yeah, it's too early. We don't have blueberries yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
this is a good
See,
time
it
for
shows
planting.
how much I know. Let's talk about planting and actually growing them.
Okay.
And the season, of course.
Okay. Well, blueberries, the time of year to plant them is actually spring and fall. And the joke is, when should I have planted my blueberries? They say 10 years ago.
Because like asparagus, it's one of those things that over time it develops and you get more and more fruit.
Yes, yeah, and it'll be about 3 years before your berry plants really start producing a good amount. So you want to, if you can, buy an older plant and then plant it. That would be help you get a head start.
But as you buy older and older plants, it's more and more expensive. Is that
Yeah,
right?
so you can actually buy these smaller ones. I think these are about maybe perhaps $7 a piece, and they're really doing pretty good. If you look up close, there's some blueberry flowers, and there's actually some blueberries already started. So
But they're not blue yet.
they're green. Yeah, you
right.
get the flower, and the flower actually is really cool. It actually looks like a white blueberry. And then and up here you can see there's actually the blueberries are right here. They're green and they're hard. As they get ripened, they'll turn colors, and you'll know when to pick your blueberries off the bush is when you actually start pulling on them and they actually easily fall off into your hand. And that's the ones that are ready. And then give them a taste too, make sure they're not too acidic, that they're actually getting the sugars up in them. So what you want to do is, for blueberries, they like full sun. They like acid soil. New England, we're good with that because our soil is always acid here.
Now, can you add acid to a soil if you need to, or are there certain things you could companion plant with blueberries to increase acidity?
Well, you can add acid to the soil, like a holly-tone fertilizer, things like that will actually be for plants that love acid. But blueberries actually don't need a lot of fertilizer either. They're low fertilizer. They do well just with a good compost. So what you should do is, when you're going to plant your blueberry bushes, you're going to find a place with full sun. You're going to add a lot of compost to the soil because they like a really organic type of soil that will actually hold moisture. They don't like standing water, so make sure it has good drainage. Then if you had a pot like this, you can see the soil level is down here. You're going to actually, when you plant the blueberry, you actually will plant it 1 inch deeper than the soil level here.
Okay.
And so that'll actually, that's unusual because plants usually try to plant them at the same soil level as you bought them in a pot or whatever, but blueberries you don't.
Now, these are all different kinds of blueberry bushes. Is there a better one or a worse one to get for this area?
Well, no, the reason you get different blueberry bushes is you actually want to get at least a couple, and you want 2 different varieties, and that'll actually give you some bigger blueberries because they'll cross-pollinate and you get a nice big blueberry.
So, for example, the ones we have here, we have Patriot, Chippewa, Jersey, and Elliott.
Yes. Now, also, the great thing about blueberries is you can extend your season by getting the various blueberries. Like Patriot is a very early bearing blueberry, Chippewa is a mid-season, and then Jersey is a late, and then Elliott is very late. So that's why you can really extend your season out. The only problem with like Patriot very early of a blueberry bush is that sometimes we'll get a late frost, and that'll kill off the flowers, and that won't work well with your blueberries. You won't have any more blueberries for the season. But if you get this whole big spectrum of blueberries, you'll
have them throughout the season.
Yeah.
Now, is it too late to plant the Patriot, would you say?
No. That's just when they're actually bearing. So you can plant any of these guys now in the spring or the fall. So it's a good time to do that.
So it's a good time right now.
Yeah.
Now, what about pruning? Is there anything you need to know about cutting them back at the end of a season?
No, you don't really want to do too much pruning with these guys either. Just when you put them in the ground, you're going to keep them at least 5 feet apart, because some of these guys, like Patriot, get 4 to 6 feet tall.
They get big too.
And they get
wide.
big too, yeah. And so you want to give them a little bit of space, and then the only thing you'd really have to do the first few years if you want to help them grow quicker is actually pull off the flowers, because then the blueberry will start putting all its energy into growing.
Right.
So
Now, if I planted this season, would I have blueberries?
Well, you can see there's already blueberries on it. You won't get a big pile like that, and you should actually pull off the blueberries, you know, so to grow. But you could get a few, and then you could taste them and see what they're like.
So you can have more and more each year. Now, this is kind of one of those things because it looks pretty too. It's edible landscapes.
Yes, yes. Actually, these are actually an excellent substitution for burning bush. Burning bush is that bush in the fall that gets really bright red. The only problem with that, it's invasive, and it's actually taking over some areas. It seeds itself everywhere. So when you plant a blueberry bush, these leaves will get really red in the winter, in the fall, and it actually will be a really pretty bush, plus giving you the blueberries.
So it can look good too, and that's what we're going to show you a little bit later in the show. We're going to show people how they can transform their lawns into something tasty, and if you want more tips, just go to mymassappeal.com.